Hello, folks. Welcome to OuchCouch once again, and this is possibly episode 11, I guess. And if it's episode 12, sorry about that. So it's either episode 11 or 12, I don't remember. So I have recorded episode 9, 10, and 11 in one sitting. Well, actually, I'm lying on my bed, so it's in one almost half lying position, and so I have like I coughed a bit because when I talk alone, like on like when I'm recording alone, I kind of tend to start coughing at times. And now I have an AC in my room, and which is running right now, because if I record with my fan turned on, um, there is extra noise as well. So, as I was saying, um, I think it would be a good decision to listen to this episode and rest of the episodes in at least 1.25 or times speed, and better if it's in 1.5 speed, because I speak low, and with all these ums and ahs and other sounds, and the pauses I make, because I English is not my first language, and I'm actually translating what I'm trying to say in my head, and then I'm speaking it, so it's a little slow. Sorry about that. And as I was saying in previous episode, that I might get a few like people who wouldn't like what I'm saying, and that's totally fine, because we are all entitled to our opinion, just the way you have the opinion to let the practitioners or witches witchcraft practitioners or witches be. And I am also in the right at the opposite side of your opinion, where I believe this nuttery has to stop, and it is for a different reason why the old timey Spanish Catholic people try to, as if it's a very anti God thing or whatever. It is not that. I'm against it, because it is an unsafe practice. It might actually harm people who have like very little resources to, like, uh, recover from the harms. And the harms are generally health uh, health wise, mental and physical health wise harm, or it can be like financial harm and things like that. So for very arty purposes and for very scientific reasons, these and scientific practices and the current wave of making these very harmful practices normalized, like this current trend of normalizing this like absolute madness, should stop. Just the way you wouldn't want teenagers to like lick a toilet seat, or maybe gobble on Tide Pods, you wouldn't want them to like try their hand on witchcraft. It's not just a good thing. So there is that. I wanted to talk about something else this episode, and this might get people even more like skeptical of my opinion. And again, it's totally fine, but I think I should like softly focus on it. I'm gonna get more critical of this shithole practices in my future episodes, but in this one, I will just state my premise of the opinions I might have later on in other episodes. It's about risque content creation. I'm not necessarily mentioning that one famous platform where people are doing this, but let's just say it could be any platform where you are, posting risque content, and you are capable of monetizing those, and you think that's a good idea. Well, to some extent, I'm not actually totally against it. I'm in the context that I would not say let's ban these platforms and shit like that. I wouldn't say that. Just hear me out. I'm just trying to say that these platforms should be known for what those are, and the current practice of, in the name of quote unquote feminism, in the name of quote unquote I don't know what else they just use as excuse to like normalize these platforms as like really mainstream career paths. And so I think like it, if that's what you're calling, do it. Just don't make it like a very casual thing, like it's in the same wavelength of let's just say the job a doctor or a banker does. It's not like flashing yourself in front of camera and getting paid for it is not same as like performing a critical surgery. I'll just say that it's very crude and very like nasty way to put it, but I will put it in that way. And I'm saying it, what I'm trying to get to, like my point is it is like almost 7.5 minutes, and I'm still not getting in the point. My point is, let these platforms be there, but be as clear about the cons of these platforms or the shortcomings of these platforms as clear or flamboyant you guys are, or gals, mostly women, are about the pros of this platform. Like you can generate money, you can get money just by wiggling yourself a little bit in front of camera. True, but the security risks, the other risks, the like let's just say the primary risk is it is not as profitable for anyone as it is for the already established people on the cyberspace, like the person who has a normal influencer account, has like followers and fans all over the places. If that person opens a risky content making account, that person would get a very different sort of income than a person with like almost no recognition. That person would not, that person can do way more risky content, and that wouldn't get them enough like a money in even the same ballpark as the famous person. So it's not as fair or as easy as it is always oftentimes advertised. And the young people are oftentimes too gullible to like think that they are making the right choices regarding platforms like this. And there are other more scarier aspects that nobody talks about, or when it is being talked about, they are silenced in the name of feminism and human rights and all of that, which is, let's face it, like being gaslit into putting this content. In most cases, the people who are in those platforms are female, and if they are like the female with low self-esteem and things like that, like people who are susceptible to gaslighting and coercing. So if they have like this men in their life to who like really have the hold the authority of the or the power of influencing them into create opening the accounts like this, and they make money out of this, and the men take the money from them. All of this is very possible. Like, in a way, this becomes a kind of sex slavery, and I would say it is already in the practice. And the contents from this platform, where the security, I don't know how tight those are, so the contents might get leaked into other like adult sites, and would possibly uh, not generate any money not generate any money after all. So these are risks, and I think, and what I really want is risks like this to be communicated more clearly, as clearly as the perks of these platforms are being communicated. That's all I am asking for it. uh, I'm not most of the time skeptical of the people who are using these platforms, but I am skeptical of the people who are always shutting people down for questioning why the people who are using this platform are like promoting this platform as if it's the most noble thing on earth, and stuff like that. I have the right to question. I have the right to have my opinion about it, just the way they have the right to have the opinion about these platforms themselves. And more importantly, I am more concerned about the shortcomings of these platforms to be more highlighted than it currently is, because just so, if a young or an impressionable person wants to like be a part of it, they make a better informed decision. It is their decision to make, of course, and that should be supported. I would support it, but I want them to know the reality, the facts about how these websites or these platforms operate. That's all I'm asking for, and I don't think that's unfair. I stop it at this because it is like almost 12:50, almost 13 minutes long. I'm sorry about that, but I think I had to get this off my chest. So sorry about that, and actually I'm not sorry about that as at all. I let it run like almost 13 minutes or 14 minutes. I don't really care. So I wanted to talk about this. I guess I will talk about this more in future episodes. Maybe in next episode, maybe not. Maybe some other episodes later. But I just wanted to like let it out. This thing really like makes me wonder like why these platforms are so powerful at like covering their limitations, and how they have like created an army of, I would say the word victim, because that's what they are. So an army of victims who would like make the case for these companies as themselves when their limitations are being questioned. So that's it for today. Bye everyone, have a nice day. Thank you.